Hi, everybody, and welcome to Spa Babies, presented by Spendthrift. I'm Dan Illman, along with Nicole Russo, and we'll kick off Sunday's card with Spa Babies action. 2-year-olds going 6 furlongs. Let's take a look at this field. The purse, $105,000. Spendthrift is the home of Super Stallion Into Mischief, the sire of the 6 No Confession, who's the longest shot on our colleague David Aragona's morning line, but also has the most experience of any horse in this field.
Yeah, we always say experience counts in these races. This race has got an interesting blend of experienced horses and first-time starters. Some of these first-time starters were entered on the Saturday card and wound up on the also eligible list or wound up in big fields. So they're cross-centered back here. It's going to be very interesting to watch the moves by some of these trainers.
One of the cross-centered runners is the morning line favorite, and that's the number 1, Faithful and True. And we were talking before we came on air, Nicole, and you described it perfectly. Faithful and True probably is in against a tougher bunch on Saturday, but here in this race would draw a tough inside post position.
Yeah, it's not a huge field, but we do always say, and it's valid, that the extreme inside can be intimidating for a first-time starter. Horses can really get some racing experience down in there and move forward next time out, though. And trainer Rudy Brissett came up under Bill Mott, and just like his mentor historically, doesn't mind giving them a start or two to get that experience. So he might not be frightened away by this inside post. The first crop for 2-year-old champion Good Magic, and one who sold way up from his yearling year to his 2-year-old year. That to me says that this is a horse moving in the right direction.
Horse really breezed well in March, selling up from a $70,000 yearling to a $450,000 2-year-old, breezed a furlong in less than 10 seconds. The family of champion Essena. The number 2 is Batflip, one of 2 2-year-olds in this race, trained by Todd Pletcher, a $350,000 yearling by Good Magic. There is a lot of route ability on the bottom half of this pedigree. The dam won at a mile on the turf. The dam a full sister to Intense Holiday, who I believe won the Risen Star.
Yeah, and also I have to Money Multiplier, who is an outstanding turf router. So much route ability in this family. As we said, Good Magic is a champion 2-year-old, but I would prefer this one going a bit longer. I think the 6 furlongs here is probably the absolute minimum of what he wants to go.
Trainer Bill Mott has sent out some live 2-year-olds in this meet, including the Spa Baby winner on Friday. And he has the number 3, Saint in the City, from the first crop of Mendelssohn. Lots of turf in this pedigree, top and bottom. Saint in the City, a half to the multiple stakes winning turf sprinter a lot. The dam grade 1 stakes place sprinting on a synthetic surface.
Yeah, and Mendelssohn by Scat Daddy was a versatile runner, winner of the Breeders' Cup juvenile turf, and then multiple grade 1 placed on the dirt at multiple tracks as a 3-year-old running in the U.S. I do think he's going to be a good 2-year-old sire. I think he's going to be both a turf and a dirt sire, and I think you're ultimately going to have to look to the mare to kind of interpret how an individual horse will slant. And with all the turf in this female family, I do wonder what surface this one will land on when all is said and done.
Check out the DRF Clocker reports presented by Mike Welsh and his colleagues. It looks like that July 13th work went in company with Bay Longu, who is entered on Saturday for Bill Mott. The 4 is Bourbon Bash, going out from Mr. Lucas. This is a son of City of Light, $280,000 yearling, and just speed and class on the bottom half of this pedigree.
Yeah, it's a very live family. Lady Tack, a grade 1 winner, Volatile, a grade 1 winner. It's an active family that's, seems to continually be producing good horses and quick horses. City of Light, kind of an interesting case study to me. He has all the tools to be a good sire with that miler speed that's so valued that he could carry a distance. By Quality Road, who's the same type of horse. City of Light sold just gangbusters with his first crop at the yearling sales last year. He had the overall sale topper at the Keeneland September sale, which first crop sires just don't do. But he did cool down a little bit this year at the 2-year-old sales, and he hasn't had a winner yet. That said, this horse looks to be working very sharply for Wayne Lukas from a hot family. And Wayne Lukas, I've mentioned before, I think he's got an outstanding crop of 2-year-olds this year, which he's already had some good runners from.
Lukas' protege, Todd Pletcher's second 2-year-old entered in this race, is the number 5 Upgrade, a $550,000 yearling by Flatter, and a half-brother to Amore, who is a juvenile Grade 1 stakes-placed miler. So a nice mixture in this pedigree and a long series of workouts for Todd, who's had this horse steadily on the work tab since mid-May.
Well, I think that's the sort of work pattern that you want to see for a horse who is debuting at this 6 furlong distance. We're moving up from the 4.5 and 5 furlong races that most horses debut at in the spring and early summer. Things start to get a little bit more demanding. You want a little bit more of a fitness base. So that's exactly the workout pattern you want to see, I believe.
The number 6 is No Confession. This is a son of Into Mischief, a $30,000 yearling. The second dam was a Grade 1 stakes winner at 2. No Confession has raced 3 times, showed improved speed in his last 2 races, but tired in both of them going 5/8. Now he's going to have to stretch out to 6 against arguably a tougher group. I'm expecting some speed, but as for right now, I'll take a wait-and-see approach.
I think so as well. You know, you've got Into Mischief over a More Than Ready mare. That's certainly, I think, a terrific combination for a 2-year-old spot. And this one is going to have a fitness edge on a lot of these horses going this, as we just said, more demanding 6 furlongs. But I think this one is more of perhaps an exotics candidate after showing some speed.
Let's watch the 7 Wasabi Boy's second lifetime start. He was a runner-up in his debut at Belmont, and then he shipped down to Monmouth, and he ran quite well in this race. You see him on the outside as the favorite. He is going to get up for second. He has shown some speed in his career, and he's by a Lord Nelson, a stallion that did some good work with 2-year-olds out of an Into Mischief mare. I wouldn't be surprised if Wasabi Boy runs well third out, simply because he has a nice attack outside post position, he has experience, and he has speed in his pedigree.
Well, and we just watched his second start, but his first start at Belmont, he was second to Forte, who was a decent 4th in the Sanford as the favorite, a well-regarded horse. And by the late Lord Nelson, a multiple Grade 1 winning sprinter who stood at Spendthrift Farm. You know, they did a lot of work to get that horse healthy and keep him going for a couple of years until, you know, they lost him to complications from his long battle with laminitis out of an Into Mischief mare. So it's speed both top and bottom from, you know, a stallion who had all the tools and who wasn't around long enough, sadly.
The third 2-year-old in the race, sired by Good Magic, is the number 8, Blazing Sevens, going out for trainer Chad Brown. This is a $225,000 yearling. The dam's a half to King David, who I believe won the Jamaica when it was a Grade 1 on the turf. The dam won a couple of synthetic routes. There is stamina on this pedigree. Bullet 5/8 on July 3rd might have this horse fit and ready.
I think so as well. And just like with one of the Todd Pletcher horses there, this is the work tab that I think you want to see from a horse who's coming out and debuting at the 6 furlongs, long and steady with some quicker works in there to show you that the horse is getting cranked up.
Let's take a look at our top selections for Sunday's Spa Baby race presented by Spendthrift. You're going with Bourbon Bash. City of Light is due, and there's just too much class and speed on the bottom of this pedigree to really ignore.
Yeah, and you know, I think you said it right there. I think City of Light is due. I think he has all the tools to be a good sire. And like I said, it's been an interesting sort of curve here with how he's been received by the marketplace. And I think, you know, there's just too much class out there from what I saw from his horses for him to not break through sooner rather than later. Now, Blazing Sevens looks like a likely horse who's going to take a lot of money. You're going to have to watch the board, but I think his pedigree might be geared toward going a bit longer, and Bourbon Bash might have a bit more of a right now speed-oriented type of pedigree. They both have long work tabs and what look like some sharp moves. I'm going to advise, again, that you check out the Clocker Report produced by our colleague Mike Walsh and his team as soon as it's available, because I think that's ultimately going to help you split hairs a little bit between some of the horses in this field, especially my top 2 selections there.
Really tough Spa Babies races this weekend. Again, I was torn between the experienced horse Wasabi Boy, the 7, and Blazing Sevens, the first-time starter. I eventually landed on Blazing Sevens. Good Magic's gotten off to a good start. We'll see if this horse does want to go a little bit longer. Again, as Nicole said, check out the clock reports and watch the board for the opener at Saratoga on Sunday. Kicks off the 50-cent early pick 5. Good luck.